Maimonides has a very fascinating insight to the moon and to all inanimate objects, rocks, sand, clouds. Everything in creation is so happy to do its purpose because it fulfills its will of the Creator. And where does we learn? From the blessing of Birkat HaLevana, once a month we go out and we bless the moon. And we have a term, the Rambam says, in the blessing it says, Sasimu smechim la'asod ritzon konem. That the moon is satisfied and happy and content to do the will of its Creator. That's amazing. But the real, how do we know? The Balei Musar, the people of ethics, ask a question. How did the Rambam know that the moon is excited and happy to do what it's supposed to do? Maybe it has no choice. Maybe it's robotic. To which the Balei Musar give a very, very fascinating insight to life. If you don't enjoy what you're doing and you hate it, or even if you dislike it, over time it creeps up on you and eventually you're going to slack off. But if you do something consecutively, day in and day out, on time, with perfect precision, you have to love it, because why else would you want to do it? The moon, the sun, all of creation works in such perfect harmony because they want to. And therefore they're joyful by doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's the lesson that the Rambam is instituting and telling us that the sun, the moon, everybody is happy to do their mission. It's a fascinating story about a bunch of young Talmudic scholars. They wanted to go from their town to Jerusalem to pray slichot with their rabbi. And they were all excited to go, and every year they rent a bus. But there was this one guy that said, this year I'm not going to go with the bus, I'm going to take my car. The bus goes, and about 20 minutes later he gets into his car. He figures he can catch up and pass the bus, and it's not going to be a problem. As he drives out of town, he bumps into the bus on the side of the road, and he stops to see what's going on. The bus broke down. All of a sudden, all his friends, they come out, please take me. We want to be, there's 55 people on the bus. He has a car that has 7 seats. And they say, pick me. And he says, I can't do that. I'm going to turn around because you're all my friends. And whoever's in the car, 5 minutes later, I'm going to drive. I can't be the person that selects who can come, who cannot come. It's not my nature. He turns around. He waits 3 minutes, he backs up, gets into the seat, turns on the car and starts to drive, and the car is on the floor. 10 minutes goes by and the police car pulls him over. Excuse me, sir, license, registration, what's going on here? And the officer counts 15 people in a 7-passenger car. It's a problem. Gives him a ticket, but it's not a regular ticket. You need to show up in court in 3 days. Please, ticket, court, shows up. Anyway, so he's not so happy. He goes to Jerusalem. He brings all these guys. While he's there, after the slichot, he approaches his Rebbe, his teacher, his master. Please give me a blessing. This is what happened. He gives him a blessing. Fine. 3 days go by. He presents himself in court. And something came into his mind that was like a spark of genius. He tells the judge, Your Honor, the officer claims that there were 15 people in the car. My car is a 7-seater. I want to see if 15 people can really get into the car. So the judge says, you're right, let's go downstairs to the car, and brings all the whole courthouse. And now the police officer asks random people, can you please get into the car? And after stuffing and pushing and screaming and shoving, he only gets 9 people into the car. So the judge says, you know what, case dismissed. The officer walks his way, and this young Talmudic scholar walks the other way. The judge goes back to his office. And then when the judge is not looking, he runs back to the police officer, and he says to the police officer, I got out of it. He says, but you know and I know there were 15 people. He says, of course there were 15 people. He says, but do you know what the difference is? I got 15 people that wanted to come to the destination that they were going. You try to get 15 random people from the street to get into a car, sit next to some weird, different, crazy people. You're never going to get 15 people into the car. He says, you're right. But the life lesson is for us, yes, if you're happy and you're excited and you want to do it, you'll get 15 people into a 7-passenger because you're enthralled, you're excited. I want to go do those things. That's the life lesson. Yes, we could have opportunities and we can be not enthusiastic about it. But the things that we're enthusiastic about and we're excited and we grab it and we want to take advantage of, we're unstoppable. I want to wake up at 5 in the morning and study, right? If that never happens because you don't really want it. If you really want something, you can get 15 people into a car. If you really want something, you can get anything done. Good luck.